Hi, this is Summer from Summer's Tips and Stitches, and today I just wanted to share an update and a few ideas, and then talk about a new yarn I've been using. So first, here's the update. Here is, I feel, for sure, my finished art project. I hate really to say painting because really all I did was paint the background, but this art project, I feel like, really showcases crochet. In the description, I'll put a link to a couple of the patterns. What I have here, I crocheted a butterfly, and there's a whole bunch of really easy tutorials on YouTube on how to crochet butterflies. I have a simple flower pattern, which really was just crocheted a ring and then did some double chains to create the petals. I also then glued some bumblebee and dragonfly buttons to the picture. Down here, these little flowers are, I bought them in the button section at Walmart, so you can use them as buttons because they do have little holes, but they also, they're kind of like felt or like a stiff fabric. So I put those down there. I used regular acrylic paint and I used paint pens, and then some of my stems are crochet. Strings of crochet. So that's pretty much how I'm going to leave the project. When I'm done with the video, I'll bring an up close shot so that you can see some of the detail, because I also use paint pen to draw around some of the flowers, which I can see from this view. You can't really see in the video. So after I'm done chatting about all the stuff, I'll bring the camera up closer so you can get a little bit of closer view to what I did with the flowers. But otherwise, that's my crochet art project. I used cotton, and then I used E6000 and glued the cotton to a painted canvas, and then I added paint, buttons, beads, gemstones. The center of each flower has a gemstone to create this multimedia art project. So that is the update on the completed project. Maybe a week ago, I did a video on the process of making it, but I think I had just ended the video where I painted the background, glued the crochet to it, and started doing the leaves. So that's that project. The other thing that I kind of wanted to share with you folks are some patterns that I picked up for free from Hobby Lobby. And so many of you who are crafters or crocheters or knitters know that a lot of times at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann, they have these little pamphlets that you can take. And a lot of times they're near the yarn that they used in these projects. So my sister really likes ponchos, and I thought this looked like a nice, easy to read crochet poncho. I'm not personally a fan of the fringe, but if you're someone that really likes fringe, that looks like a really cute poncho. And it has a nice turtleneck to it. So I thought maybe I would try those. But like I said, I looked through the pattern. They seemed pretty easy. I'd say maybe like an intermediate if you're a pattern reader. The other one that I got that was darling, because right now my brothers and sisters are in the process of having little kids, are these little kid patterns. Now this book has all of these things in there. Look at these cute little muffin or cupcake hand fingerless gloves. Aren't those adorable? So they have what are those, like earmuffs, leg warmers, fingerless gloves, boot cuffs. Look at this little girl, that little crochet headband. Isn't that adorable? And again, I feel like these are intermediate patterns, very easy to understand. I think if I were gonna make these, I think acrylic or cotton. If you ever use Hobby Lobbies, I love this cotton. And on here, here's that fingerless glove. They sewed little beads to them. So I'm pretty excited about that pattern. Like my sister has 3 little girls, 6, 3, and 1. So I'm pretty excited to make them things out of there. This one I picked up because I know I've seen in a couple of the crochet groups that I'm involved in on Facebook, bunches of people posting pictures of that unicorn hoodie. Now, I made one for my daughter, but I simply made it up. I didn't find any free patterns because I typically being a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids and a single income family, I try to get things as cheap as possible. So I hadn't seen any patterns that were free that I understood or that were coming out right. So I kind of made up my own scarf pattern, and then I kind of measured. I draped the scarf along my daughter's head, and I measured where the neck and the top of her head was, and I crocheted a panel to like create this hood, and then I made my own horn, and I really struggled with the ears. If you look, this one really looks like it's kind of like a little vest, and it has sleeves. So I thought that was adorable. And then also in here it has a pattern for shark gloves, which would be really great to maybe donate to a preschool or an elementary school for puppets. And then my daughter's kind of getting a little too old for this, but this might be nice for my nieces, is a little unicorn headband. And I remember when I was little, my grandma Goodwin had bought me these little barrettes with these little spiral blonde curls. And they have those in there, so I thought, oh, that's sweet. So these were the free patterns I picked up at Hobby Lobby yesterday. And I can't wait to try them. It does appear that all of these are online somewhere. They have websites listed on here, but otherwise, if you just stop by your Hobby Lobby, you can pick these up. So those are pretty exciting, I thought. I was pretty excited about those. The other thing that I wanted to finish out this video with before I show you my a close-up of my art project is when I went to Walmart, now it was last week, I'd actually seen somebody, and I wish I could remember the YouTuber's name. One of these yarn crochet gals that has her own YouTube channel. She had said that she was doing an Easter giveaway, and she'd mentioned the Mandala or Mandala baby yarn, and I hadn't seen any yet. But when I went to my Walmart last week, they had the Mandala baby, and the first day I saw them, they were the same price as the regulars, $4.97. But then I went to Walmart, I want to say this past weekend, like 2 days ago, and they were on sale for $3.87. So I picked up a few of them. I still plan on using them for the giveaway that I mentioned. Actually, if you want more details, at the end of the video where I talk about this, I mentioned the subscriber number that I would like to hit when I do the giveaway. And so I'm going to give away 2 of these Mandala cakes, Mandala. One of them's going to be the baby and one's going to be the regular. But until then, I started working on a blanket with one of them. Here is the blanket that I started. This is just a simple double chain stitch. I'm going to hold it up in the air. As you can see, that's where I'm joining it. And it's just like a granny square. Just goes round and round, and I really like how the colors are lining up. I haven't had any problem where right in the middle of a row where the automatic change happens. And the thing I really like about the Mandala yarn so far, in the other skeins too, is I like how it doesn't just abruptly change from one color to another. There's like the purple and a lighter purple, or a purplish, there's the pink, a purplish pink, a purple, and a light purple. I love the gradients. So this is the yarn, what it looks, I think this one was called Unicorn. I bought 2. I bought Unicorn and Pixie Hollow, so it's one of those 2. This is how it looks. I just think it's beautiful. I love it. And this so far has taken 1 full skein and 2/3 of another. For the border, I'm doing these little loops where I chain 8 and then I skip 4 stitches and I slip stitch it to the border. And then I'm going to go around a second time, and right in the middle of that stitch, that's where I'm going to join. I'm going to slip stitch the other. So it kind of has like this twisted look. So I'll go around twice. So that's the blanket. I would say overall, I like the yarn. It has the same size. It says it's worsted like the Mandala yarn, but it's thinner, as many people have already said. The one thing that I really have not been happy about these two skeins that I just bought is that there are quite a few spots where the yarn is extremely thin. And it just makes the stitches look a little weird because you have, I mean, already it's a little smaller than a worsted weight, maybe a 3. And then it goes even smaller, like almost like a sock yarn. So my OCD kicks in and I have to cut it, move it to where the super thin yarn goes back to normal, and then join from there. And you know, the whole point of using these kind of yarns is that you have all these beautiful colors and you don't have to change colors and weave in all those ends, right? So, but overall, I like this yarn. I think you have like those consistency issues in every skein and every type of yarn you come across. You know, they're made by machines and they do the best they can. Definitely though, for the price, $3.87 or whatever, it's definitely worth it. You know, it's not like I'm spending $22 to $26 for a skein of yarn that has consistency problems. So that is what I'm making out of that. I made a baby sweater to go with, and after I finish the border, hopefully I'll be able to get a couple hats out of that. So I guess that's all I'm going to chit-chat about. The final thing that I wanted to say is I'll put these links in the description, and I wish I would have looked up more and written them down on my paper. I was trying to go by memory for this. There are 2 or 3 specific YouTubers I really wanted to mention in this video. And I'll mention some at the end of every video. Whoops, my son just kicked the tripod, so we had a little bit of an earthquake. So what I was saying is I'll put a link in my description for each of these YouTubers, and every time I put up a video, I will mention 2 or 3 YouTubers that I really enjoy watching. And typically what I do is I sit at the counter, I have my computer in front of me, I watch one of these people talk about their crochet or talk about their knitting while I knit or crochet. That is really how obsessed I am, apparently. So the first one I'd like to mention that I came across when I was actually looking for some ideas on how to make that unicorn hood for my daughter, I found a gal from the UK. Her name is Hales, and she was doing not really a tutorial, but what she does that I really like is she talks about specific patterns that she's worked on. She shows you what she made, and then she talks about like the ins and outs of it, what parts maybe were confusing to her, how she solved them, what type of yarn she used, what type of hook she used, and then she always puts a link in the description to the pattern or the tutorial that she found that idea from. And so I really like that if I'm ever like trying to wonder about what I want to make next, or just want to watch someone talk about crochet, I really like watching Karen's videos. Okay, so now my son is leapfrogging in front of the video. I guess I can say at least he's doing it quietly, so you can still hear me, but that is what's occurring. So Karen Hales, I'll put a link in her description. I really love her videos. Plus she has a really cute British accent, and I have some friends from England and I miss hearing that. So I really enjoy watching her videos. Another gal that I just I think found me randomly, maybe I'll ask her someday how she found me. She has a YouTube channel called Christy's Craft Corner, and I really owe her a debt. And I'm very thankful for her. Not only does she comment on my videos and she talks about crochet and she seems like a real sweet lady, she also gave me a shout out in one of her videos, and my subscriber numbers went from like 18 to 28 in one day. So that was really nice. And she mentioned my crochet project in her video. So check her out. She is a very nice gal. She makes very beautiful shawls and covers and wraps. I'll put a link to her YouTube channel. And another gal I'm going to mention, this will be the third one for today. I believe her channel's called Hooked on Owls. I really liked watching her, but she kind of reminds me of myself. She likes to crochet for family, baby blankets, and different things for friends and family. She also is starting to learn how to knit, and I've just started learning to knit because I really want to make myself some socks. And she's done a few videos with her daughter, and her daughter's super sweet. And yeah, so I'll put a link in the description to her videos. So those are the 3 that I am talking about and featuring, if you will. And so I hope you check out their videos, subscribe to them, and I'm sure you will enjoy them just as much as I have. So finally, I will try to do my best to move my camera so that you can see a little up close. I'll show you the butterfly, and then I'll show you some of the work that I did with the paint pens, and then you can see the gemstones and the buttons. And then I think that will be it for my video. I'm going to pause it real quick, because what I've done here is, in order for me to be able to see the frame, I have it so that my camera's flipped so that I can see the most of it. But from what I have tried to figure out on my camera, once I've paused it, I can't flip it so it's the other way around. It just shuts off my video. So now I've got to like awkwardly hold the phone like I'm doing a selfie with my picture. But anyway, I'm going to try. And at the very least, I will do my thumbnail, which, as many of you can see, my earlier pictures are like these random screenshots that YouTube chose, where I'm like holding my yarn in the picture. Now I at least know how to take my own picture and insert my own picture for the thumbnail. So I'm going to pause the video and give a little focus, an up-close view to my project. All right, just one moment. Okay, so now, unfortunately, you can't see me, but you can see my picture. So that is the butterfly I crocheted. I'll put a link to the video that I found in my description. To be honest, I typed in how to crochet a butterfly, and like 10 videos came up, and I just chose the one that, I think the second or third. And then here is another flower, and this is what I did around it. Unfortunately, you can't see from so far away, but I take the paint pens and I like draw some details around the flower, and then you can see I glued a gemstone. I'll come over here and show you this one. Here is another flower that I decorated with paint pens and I glued a gemstone. And here is another one. And then finally, these are the buttons. And they have little holes in them, but they look like they're little wooden buttons. There's a dragonfly, and there's a bee, and then here's another bee. And so I used that same craft glue. And then finally, here are the little buttons that I got from Walmart that aren't actually buttons. I think the package had like 4 different sizes, and I think they had like 30 in the package for like $1.98. And I glued like a smaller green one on a white one there. There's a medium-sized pink one on a green. And then here's another small one. And I just put those down there to add a little bit more detail to the bottom. So there is my project. I'm going to definitely say that I am done with it now. This is my completed project, and I hope to hang it in my daughter's room. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Remember the description. I'll have links to those other YouTubers and to the patterns. And please watch those other gals, because they are just as enjoyable, if not more, than I am. Thanks for watching. Happy crafting.